How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in again to Twin Tuitions. This is episode 8. Tonight we got me, AJ, Laura, and Livy, and because we figured we'd kind of do a couples podcast, have some fun. We're doing it on a different day today, so it's a little bit different vibe. We're doing it on a Sunday. We got some exciting news, and that we got a show coming up with a lot of great Cincy, Kentucky, Indiana, I think, bands coming in. Do you think it's cool to give the info on the show out, or should we wait? I don't know what all they've put out.
Let's wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
But we'll release it soon, and it's definitely some really exciting.
Probably save a month.
Really, yeah, it's coming in April.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a pretty big show.
Yeah.
Possibly 1,000 or more people there. So it's kind of like a mini festival.
It's definitely going to be a lot of fun. So why don't we introduce the guests? Who wants to go first?
Well, I guess earlier today, AJ asked me if I wanted to participate in a podcast called A Girlfriend's Podcast. I didn't know what to think of it. I thought I was going to the whole time talk about what it's like, I guess, to be with someone in a band. And he's like, no, not at all. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm very psyched and excited for Pale Twin. All the hard work they've been doing, and I mean, with the news that AJ told me in the car on our way here, him being on DistroKid, I mean, very psyched, very excited for him, and the show that they're going to have, I will be there. Is it April the 17th?
April 17th,
All right,
yep.
Can't get that mixed up with my brother's bachelor party. He is getting married, and his bachelor party is on the 4th, so
Yep.
if you want to crash it, I won't give details of where it is, but it might be at Ford's Garage, and then there's go-karting.
Go-karting, yeah. I'm looking forward to that.
I think I just gave away where it's going to be. Just
Well,
kidding.
Just outed your brother's whole
We don't know.
party.
No.
It'll be fine.
No, hey,
they
there-
won't know what he looks like, and he's very low-key.
There's got to be more places.
It's not like there will be balloons
There's
saying
gotta-
I'm getting married.
There's got to be a bunch of go-karting places in Cincinnati, too. They'd have to find the right one.
Well, I think there's one, babe.
Oh, there's really only just
I think
one?
there is one.
No, there's more than one.
There is more than one? Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it depends on how specific you're going to get about go-karting, but yeah. And
yeah.
Hi. I'm Livy. I'm Luke's girlfriend, and I'm just, glad to be on. I've kind of jokingly been like, oh, if you ever need somebody, if a guest falls through, just pull me out of the back room and I'll hop in. And now I'm kind of eating my words a little bit on that. So, yeah, I'm interested to see kind of what we're going to talk about, because I just was told, we're going to do a podcast tonight. So, yeah, just excited to be here and see what you guys have in store for us this evening.
got a few questions in mind, but it's nothing specifically in store necessarily. I do have just some kind of general thoughts from what's been going on with the band recently, and then behind it and all that stuff. So we practice down at AJ's, which is really nice, and occasionally we have everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
But it just in which it's always such a fun vibe, and now we're doing this stuff in a similar way. And what occurred to me earlier when you said, I'm definitely going to be at that show.
Yeah,
for
of
whatever
course.
reason, we all met at it. Well, we didn't, but as a group, the first time we hung out was at a show, wasn't it? It was at
Yeah,
AJ's
it
show.
was the Thompson House.
Well, yeah, it
That-
wasn't even
that's what
that
I
we
thought.
all hung out. It was that was the first time we unknowingly all ran into each other, because I remember seeing Laura and because I remember Laura was in line in front of Luke and I, because Luke and I had just kind of started, I don't know, we'd been seeing each other for a few months, and we went to AJ's show because he was like, oh, my friend AJ's playing a show, And so
Yeah.
we went, this was our first show, like, going out together. And unknowingly, Laura just happened to be the person in front of us in line. And I remember thinking, like, oh, like, her outfit's really cute. But I was, like, too nervous to say
Really?
anything. Yeah.
That's
And then,
sweet.
like,
I don't remember
later,
what I was
like,
wearing.
later in the night, we saw the two of you together. And we were like, oh, like, that's the girl that AJ's, like, been talking to. So, like, we didn't really meet, but that was kind of, like,
told me.
where we all kind of, like, unknowingly, like, first, we're all in the same place at the same time, which is kind of cool. Was, like, that it was at a show.
I remember what you were wearing, Laura.
You do? What was I wearing?
You had that like black shirt on. It's like a crop top.
Yeah.
That's got the white writing on it. I can't remember.
I think you had, like, some cool boots on.
And you had
too.
some
I think it
boots.
was, like,
Yeah.
the boots that I was,
So-
like, really, like, oh my gosh, those
I
are
remember
cool.
now what I wore now. So I had a black cami with like a cross on the front.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
was a crop top. It was black with some lace, and it had like some cool looking kind of like cross with wings and gave kind of like a supernatural kind of vibes to me. I always loved that. And I wore like a long kind of black skirt that kind of tied. That was slit. It was a slit skirt, you would call it, like a slit
Yeah.
black skirt that ties up with
With
my
the-
boots.
With boots, yeah.
I think I'm
Yep.
actually wearing the boots I wore.
Is that them?
Yeah, my black booties.
I thought they were
No, they were-
longer than
Yeah, I
that.
thought they were, like,
No.
tall boots.
Actually, you're right. The black combat boots. I was wearing my black combat boots. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first time we all met as a group.
Kind of crossed paths.
Yeah.
I was wearing my corny cowboy hat
Oh man, I
kind
love
of
that.
thing. It wasn't really a cowboy hat. It was like
That-
a
No, it's like a bucket hat, babe.
yeah, bucket hat. It
Yeah,
was like
you
a,
were wearing a bucket hat.
it was
I
like
do
a
remember that.
Crocodile Dundee kind
Yeah,
of
like,
thing.
Bucket hat.
Crikey, it's like
But-
so hot.
I had Houday written on it.
Yeah, the Houday bucket hat.
The Houday bucket hat. That was it. I really liked that. I love that hat. Still have it. It's retired though.
You should bring it. I don't want to stay on this, but you should bring it back and
Bring it
retire.
back out of retirement.
Retire Future Man instead. Honestly,
No, no, we love Future Man.
But yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we had like kind of the first time we hung out. I guess it was unknowingly, but was at a show. Okay, so one of the first questions I had in mind that I thought would be kind of fun for everybody is like, how much between like when you two met and when we met do you think your music taste has changed? Like you like I'll answer for me, we all answer for ourselves, but like I'll start it. And like one is that like I wasn't a Taylor Swift hater when we met, but I definitely didn't listen to Taylor Swift. And like I actually respect her music now. Like the lyricism is good. They do really good work in the instrumentals. I mean, she's obviously a good singer. And then like I'm not usually a lore person, but the like I could definitely see it and like see that she puts a lot of thought and stuff like that into the stuff she does, which I respect. So I would say that's like the biggest thing about my music taste that has changed, like since Livia and I have met. I mean, I do listen to more rock and stuff, but I think that's more of a result of like what we're working on versus what I was working on. So, yeah, who wants to go next?
I wouldn't say my music tastes have changed much. I would just say they've expanded a lot. And I mean, Laura's into some country, I would say, and into some pop, and into rock and metal. You kind of listen to a lot of different things, don't you?
I really
babe?
do. I keep a very open mind with.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep like an open mind of every kind of music. If my hips can move to it, and if I can have a good time, if it helps me relieve stress, if it's therapeutic to me, then hell, I'm gonna listen to it. I do think though you expanded my knowledge of some music. Like I didn't know there was like so many different kinds of metal. until I met you.
Right. Yeah, no, me either. Until I met Luke, I was like, what is new metal?
what is groove
deathcore?
metal?
What is groove metal? I'm
Like,
what are all these
what?
subgenres? Like,
And I know, Libby, I'm probably going to pronounce this band wrong, but he showed me this. Is it like Gojira, right?
Gojira is yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
I said it right. I kept saying, Girja or...
I can't remember.
Me neither, but let's... Gojira, AJ has shown me that band, and, like, that one song with, like, it was like a French kind of prone, kind of metal. It was like...
The one that the
Marie
Olympics?
Antoinette and their...
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was, like, insane to see.
Agreed.
Like,
That was epic.
yeah.
That was epic.
But yeah, I've always opened me with that, with different kinds of metal out there and jazz music too. I feel like I kind of listen to a lot more jazz. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I guess
about it.
I guess I've
No Taylor Swift, babe. Because
No. You haven't converted. I have.
he's not
I
been,
can't.
he's not been converted.
I have not been converted yet. Although there was one song off of her new album that I was. You remember that? I was kind of into that song.
It was Opalite,
I don't think so. That was the album.
Elizabeth
Fate-
Taylor.
What
No,
was the new one
I-
called?
Was it Wood?
It wasn't Wood.
It
It was like
wasn't.
It's something about a grave or something.
Oh, was it Fate of Ophelia? That one?
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't
Faded
think so.
Ophelia.
I'd have to look it up real quick. But still not a Taylor Swift. Still not a Swiftie. I don't know if I ever will be. That's a tough sell.
Tomato, tomato, tomato.
That's a tough sell for the old age meister over here. But
He is the oldest one in the room by far.
that's not even
Geriatric, one may say.
And I'm
That's not even true.
Geriatric.
I know. Like, can't believe my birthday is coming up
I'll
on
say
the 24th.
your birthday is soon, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be 32.
32.
If it's gonna be more painful as it was last.
Yeah, I would say because you and Luke are like the same year. Because he'll
Oh,
be
really?
32 in September.
Yeah.
And then I'll be 28. Still.
You dang youngins.
But I guess for me it's kind of the opposite music taste wise, like, because I was, especially once I hit like middle school, like growing up I was very like Taylor Swift, pop, and then like I loved, and I still love Evanescence, but I loved Evanescence growing up. And then once I hit high school, I kind of transitioned into like the emo, like punk scene phase. So I was like Pierce the Veil, Sleeping with Sirens, like Escape the Fate, like all of those. And that's still like a lot of what I listen to. But so I was always like into rock, and then as I got older, I got into like heavier stuff, like Slipknot, like all kinds of stuff. And I really like. And then I've recently gotten to Ghost within the last year, and I really like them a lot. But since Luke and I started dating, he actually got me. It's kind of the opposite. Like, I kind of got more into like rap and like sad boy stuff because that's what he used to do. And I was never really like, again, like he said with the Taylor Swift stuff, never like a hater, but it just wasn't what you were listening to. Like, I was never an active like rap, like, oh god, I don't like it, but it just wasn't my thing. And then once I started dating him, he showed me like, Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, and then Suicide Boys, which like that's probably my favorite rap stuff. But then even like the old like Lil Wayne stuff, like, and I again like just growing up because you're like you're always hearing like the top 100 hits, so like I knew a lot of the stuff, like I knew like who Lil Wayne and Drake and like all those people were, but like it was never my. Like, it wasn't the main stuff that I listened to. So I would say the biggest thing that's changed since we started dating was, like, my music taste kind of expanded in that direction in more of the pop and rap space as opposed to the rock, because I always kind of, like, was into the rock stuff. But
Yeah, I think I will have to say I appreciate that I found someone to appreciate A Day to Remember and Bring Me the Horizon. Because now I get another person to jam with me in the car listening to that after our workout sometimes. So
No, I love a
Yes.
Day to Remember. That was like another emo band that I really like.
We were listening. We heard a Day to Remember song on the way up here today. So we were rocking on a Day to Remember song
on the way here.
on the way here off that one album, that classic like
Yeah.
2008 one. I can't remember what it's called, but
God.
it's like I'm made of wax, or I'm
Oh.
made
I'm
of
made of
wax,
wax,
Larry
yeah.
something, blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
No, I like that album a lot. If you're not like scream shouting if it means a lot to you when it comes on, were you even like a, like late 2000s, 2010 emo kid?
So I've got a fun question. What if you had to pick one, and the answer can be none if it's just not something you like at all. What would be your favorite type of horror? So there's like a lot of different kinds. There's like slasher, there's psychological, there's like, and I think psychological. When I say that, I think like Silence of the Lambs and stuff like that. There's Lovecraftian, which is like trippy and monster stuff, and
This feels like a very targeted question because I won't make a decision.
you have to make it. No, I want to give my
I
answer.
am the horror connoisseur
so
in the room. Like, this doesn't feel like a fair question.
it's a fair question. If anything, it should be the most fair for you.
No, because
But-
you're going to make me pick. It's like picking a favorite child. Can't do it.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's like picking a favorite NBA team or something like that. But if I had to pick, I love my favorite to watch is psychological horror, and it might be my favorite to read. It's really a toss up between psychological and Lovecraftian. But if I had to pick for like the rest of my life, I can only read one. God, I think I'd pick psychological, but that is a really like tough choice because I just think I could enjoy it more. I think there's more good stuff out there that's psychological than like good stuff out there that's Lovecraftian.
Well, I feel like Lovecraftian's also really niche. Like, it's very like
Not as much anymore, but
but compared to like psychological, like Lovecraftian's a very like specific type and like of genre of horror.
I'd say another way to put Lovecraftian is cosmic,
Yeah.
and I think if it's done well, cosmic horror is really
But not all
Creepy.
Lovecraftian is cosmic. Some of it is demonic.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna say for me, it's supernatural horror. I think when that's done right,
So
like supernatural horror, like I would.
Like, what kind of movies or like books?
Yeah, I guess what I mean by supernatural horror is like tends to be like hauntings, ghosts, apparitions. Not necessarily. I don't necessarily like demonic stuff. I just think it's overdone. I think possession stuff is like way overdone these days. Like it was cool. Are you into that?
Like I said, asking me to pick a favorite horror genre is like asking me to pick a favorite child.
No,
like this is like, and I don't share it a lot just because like he likes horror stuff, but like he's very like psychological Lovecraftian. That's kind of like, not that he doesn't watch the stuff with me, but he's like not really one to sit down and watch like a slasher film with me.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, it's like, this is a very loaded question because it's not fair. It's not a fair question. It's like picking a favorite child.
No, Olivia, I'm also a huge horror fan too.
Yeah.
So, but I mean,
Yeah, tell what we watched on Christmas with your family in theater.
Nosferatu.
Oh my, I still
Nosferatu.
have not seen that. I still need to go see it.
Yeah,
Was it good?
it was so good.
I need to watch it.
I'm a harsh critic
Yeah.
on this stuff. So I thought
No,
it was.
I don't want to say I'm harsh, but I am very like, if it's bad, like if it was made in like, it depends on the time period it was made. And this was kind of like what I was going to get into with mine is like, anything from like mid 90s forward, like the cheesier, the better.
Like,
Like
Nightmare on
you
Elm
have-
Street.
Well, like yes, I love the original Nightmare on Elm Streets. Like, yes, are they campy? Are they cheesy? Yes, but it's like they were made in the '80s. Like, you have to appreciate like this was made in the '80s.
No,
like the humor's gonna be different. Like the effects are gonna be different.
Let me ask you this: what was your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Because I know mine.
Probably, I don't know. Probably the first or second one. I don't know though. I like the one, and I think I want to say it's the third one. Again, very cheesy, very campy, but the one where they're all in the hospital, it's like the Dream Warriors one where all the people are like dreaming about, like it's all these different kids in the hospital and they're all like getting killed off one by Freddy in the hospital.
I can't remember which one that was.
It's either the second or the third one, and
No,
I really like that one.
Mine's the second one, and
Yeah.
that's the one where the dude he's like possessed by Freddy, and he like randomly like will turn into Freddy Krueger.
and they're at like the pool party.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I do like that one of that. But no, I think either the original one or the third one where they're all like in the psych ward hospital.
Does anybody remember Nightmare on My Street by Will Smith?
Yeah.
Oh my! We
What?
like
It was like a Will Smith rap Halloween track.
AJ's got to insert a little clip of that here when we release the podcast because that began the nightmare on my street.
No, it was
bad. Yeah, it was cringe.
My coworker asked me, and she's like
God.
in her 40s. She asked me the other day, like, "Do you remember when Will Smith was like rapping?" And I was like, "Yes," and it was not good. And she's like, "Well, I liked it," and I was like, "No, just no, it was not good."
God, I wish I could remember the lyrics to that song.
No, it was not very.
So,
good.
did we get everybody's like actual
Not
favorite?
really. Like, I didn't get to finish my.
Yeah, I
thing, and
didn't
Laura
think so.
didn't answer hers, cutting us off.
I'm not
It's
cutting
okay.
this off.
I guess mine is kind of different. I do like anything that is kind of psychedelic, where it makes you leave you to question if what would you do in that situation. I like thriller. I like horror movies. I do like sci-fi. Like, I really love Stranger Things, and you know.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the last season just had me in tears. But even like Predator, I like Predator. So I guess any like my kind of horror is that, and
I would say
like action horror,
yeah.
and I like The Conjuring and anything with being possessed too. I always get kind of freaked out because I do believe there's demons out there, man. I do believe like it can happen where you can get possessed. So I'm a firm believer on that. I'm a firm believer with angels, demons out there. I'm a whole believer with supernatural with that sense. So I guess, yeah, I love watching things like that.
Yeah, you do. Knowing you, babe, I would definitely say you're like that movie where they were on the ledge, and there's those two people. No, it's this new movie that.
Are you talking about Fall? Yeah.
That seems like your type of like.
It's about these two girls that take a trip, and there's this radio tower that they climb up, and these two people, they're stuck on it because the whole like ladder collapse. But I can't give away any details what happens. But it leaves you to question, what would you do if this were to happen? And with the person that you are stuck with on top of that tower, of what seems to happen and the whole survival instincts. Like, I love things where you have to test what your survival mode would go to.
Yeah.
Like stuff that's somewhat realistic, where it makes you think like, because it's like it's something that could potentially happen in real life. So it makes you think like, well, what would I do in that situation?
Yeah.
I tell you a movie I really liked. I'm gonna give you an example of something. I just want to throw it out there. Autopsy of Jane Doe. I thought was
So
an awesome horror
never
movie.
finised it.
Oh,
I need to watch it still.
that's a top tier one. It totally
Yeah.
surprised me how good that one was.
Again, this is like picking a favorite child. I guess my favorite stuff is probably more towards like supernatural and like occulty possession stuff, but I do have like a very soft, like a very like special place in my heart for like 80s, 90s slasher stuff. And like I know so many people that are like, they're corny, they're cheesy, but like that's part of what makes it fun. Like my favorite, hands down, Halloween franchise is my absolute favorite. hands down my favorite horror franchise of all time, and like because I vividly remember watching the first Halloween for the first time with my dad and just being like I think I was like 9 or 10 and just being like horrified because it's like far-fetched a little, especially once you get into like the sequels where it's like, oh, like he's like part demon and he like all that, yeah, far-fetched. But like the initial movie where it's basically like this guy escapes an insane asylum and goes on a killing spree, like that could happen in real life. Like it's again a little far-fetched, but I just remember that scaring me so bad as a kid and like having to sleep with the lights on for a week. And like just like that kind of memory is kind of like what makes me enjoy it so much. And yeah, I don't know. Horror, like picking a favorite horror genre is tough, but I would say like either supernatural kind of like I really like I loved The Exorcist. It's what made me like, and we don't have to get super into this, but like I like The Exorcist is what made me want to get into like horror acting. Like the horror acting that I did like when I was younger, like that was kind of what made me like I want to be like I want to be like a spooky like monster or like a spooky character. That was really what got me into that was The Exorcist. So it's just kind of a toss up, but I lean more towards older horror movies than newer stuff. But there's a lot of really great newer horror stuff out there.
I think like most critics that know what they're talking about rate The Exorcist as like the greatest horror film of all time. Like, and I'm not even saying that's my pick. I'm just saying that I think that that's like the way that people are like, oh, Michael Jordan or Babe Ruth or whatever.
Well, because
like,
again, most
The
critics
Exorcist
are taking it into account, like the time period it was made, because
Like, that was
people can sit there. It is so important, and
It's
this
like
is
35
this
years
is some,
ahead of
This
its
is
time.
something I can rant on about forever. So cut me off. But you have to like with movies, especially horror movies, you have to appreciate the time period that it was made in, because like The Exorcist was made like I think in like the 70s or 80s, and that is it's just such a like for its time like that like I remember my dad would not let me watch that movie in our own house because he was like, no, like that movie is evil.
Yeah.
Like cuz he saw that as like a kid, like 'cause my dad was born in the 60s, like you know seeing that as like a teenager, like he's like that was terrifying. It was horrifying. And like because no one in that time period had seen anything like that.
No.
Like yeah, we go back and watch it and we're like, "Oh yeah, like
I think it still
but, like,
holds up today.
Well, it does, but like
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people, especially if they can't appreciate like old school horror movies, they're gonna look at it and be like, "Oh, it's obvious that that's like, you know, oh, that's cheesy, that's corny, that's not real." Like, you know, because they're so used to like, you know, 4K, you know, CGI craziness
Right.
that we have now. They look at it and they think it's cheesy, but it's like, imagine if it was like 1978 and you're seeing this for the first time in a movie theater. Like,
No, that's
you probably would have been
unprecedented.
crapping your pants.
Yeah, you would. People were probably running out
People
of the
were like
movie theater.
fainting and
Yeah.
running out of the movie theater.
Yeah, like so. Let me ask you this: as also a big horror fan, what was the last movie that you remember that was really revolutionized the genre, or just at least really scared people? I know what it was for me personally, and I think it was like this for a lot of people. It was definitely a movie that was it was like some people loved it and some people
Yeah.
hated it, and that was Hereditary.
Yeah, no, that one was really good. I did like that.
Blair
one.
Witch Project.
Nope, that was it.
Blair Witch Project.
No, Blair Witch.
that changed it.
That
found
changed
footage.
That was what started found footage for sure.
100%. I thought that was real for like a long
Yeah,
time. Like
I think a lot of people did.
yeah.
Same with like the Paranormal Activities, which like I don't think the Paranormal Activities were as good as Blair Witch,
No.
not even close. But a lot of people like were convinced that that was real.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with you on that, Luke. Blair Witch. I'd say that was the last.
You want the mic, babe?
I would say that was. I would say that was the last major
like revolutionary horror flick.
I feel like The Conjuring, like
I
not
wouldn't
that
give
it
it
would
to The
not
Conjuring.
to that level, but I feel like The Conjuring really like kind of brought back
I got
a
another-
lot of elements.
I
of
got
old
another one I'm
school
gonna throw at you.
horror.
This-
I'm talking like the franchise, not just the
No,
single
I'm
movie.
I'm talking about the history of horror and just talking about like this changed
Mm-hmm.
things. You know, another one that came after Blair Witch that changed is Saw. Saw changed
that.
things.
Yeah, that started a lot of like
Like
the
of
gore,
intense
like
gore.
intense gore.
Torture porn shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know about you, but I thought Psycho
Oh,
changed
yeah,
a lot of things, especially
back in the day.
back.
oh,
Yeah, with back in the day, that was the first movie to go in movie theaters. Everyone like, he was a genius. Like Psycho, everyone started puking
Yeah.
in their chairs of
Similar
all the
with The
blood, the gush.
Exorcist.
Like, yeah, I had to say Psycho for that one.
Okay, so I have a kind of fun question. Like, I feel, with it, I'm curious what everybody's like 1-2 on a daily basis is. And so what I mean is like 1 is usually your job. Right. Why?
Oh no, switch topic from like all the horror.
I wasn't trying to get off of that. I was just, but I was thinking about this. So like, it's kind of a fun question. So like, I'll go first if it makes it like kind of an easier example of what I'm talking about. So like, for me, assuming that it's a day that I don't have my daughter, because for any parent, like that's number one, right? But if it's a day, like whether it's like a day that I don't have my daughter or times like now when she's in bed, things like that, my number one is music because that's my main job. That's how I like when I'm able to make money, that's how I do it. And I would say my number two is just, and usually the number one is a job, number two is the hobby thing that you do for yourself. But that like it could be more, I would say my number two would probably be like just some combination of like an autistic like psychology. I love psychology stuff, and I love like dinosaur prehistoric like Permian period, like just history stuff. So I would say like that would be my main one too, at least right now. What about you guys?
Do you want to go, Laura? Go ahead. Go ahead. babe.
Okay, so first, am I asking what I do on a daily basis and my hobby?
Yeah, kind of like what's the thing that you do the most?
Like it's like the thing that you do that you invest in every day, and then
Yeah.
the thing that is like you're kind of
They're like, what's the thing you do you do the most? And then kind of what are your hobbies?
Well, that's kind of hard. It shouldn't even be difficult to say because I'm not gonna lie. I try to squeeze a lot of things in one day because throughout my whole week, I work full time. I'm a student, and like I try to engage with the deaf community and practicing with my signing. And with hobbies, I read a book. I like to try to go out, work out with you guys when I can. But what got me to kind of, chill and do something for just myself, I would say painting right now. I really like trying to, I enjoyed it so much going to Michael's and getting my black canvases that I'm trying out right now, like my black canvas, getting some neon paint where you can get UV light and let it glow in the dark. So thinking of ideas with that I've been painting and trying to catch up on my reading. So that's what I do, I guess.
Yep. So for me, I got a pretty regular 9 to 5 that I do. I get to work from home, so I mean it's been really busy here lately, as you know, babe. But when it's not busy, well, no, never mind. I'm not gonna. But yeah, my job is the thing I do the most. But then after that, I would say I probably split even time between music and exercise.
Yeah.
Because I got a pretty regular gym routine and a pretty regular music routine that I do. And usually Monday through Friday during my work hours and during my off of like work hours is like literally busy from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. So I got a lot of like 16-hour days. And then on the weekends, besides those two things, so music and working out, outside of my 9 to 5, I like to read from time to time and play video games. That's pretty much it. That's my life.
Yeah, and I feel like when I try to talk about being, I engage with the deaf community. Why do you do that? I didn't like say anything with like the school. So to better be clear, because I'm not good with talking about myself to begin with. So I go to work and I work with kids, and then with college, I major in American Sign Language interpreting. So of what I try to get boils down to as more of my like daily, what I do too is I try to engage as I can to practice with my ASL, meaning American Sign Language, because that's what I'm going to do, so to becoming fluent. And, you know, that also involves with meeting people a lot. You got to, like, always not be afraid to, like, kind of meet people and always wanting to communicate, talk, going to events. And when I get to finally, like, kind of chill just a bit, you know, it's always important. This is the one thing I learned even in class. Not be burnt out from your job or the things that you feel like you have to get done. I think it's very important that you take initiative to try to, even if it's trying new things. So when you say like hobbies, what you do, I think it's important too to kind of like experience like new things, even if it's like a new skill, like trying to crochet. If you have the patience to want to learn that and whatnot. But yeah, I guess with those hobbies, I feel like I do like try to get into.
I could see where sign language would be both like rewarding and also like fun to do. I mean that in like both as positive ways. It's like you're helping people and it's like a really cool thing to learn. So I feel similarly about like learning other language and yet I do neither. You know, I've done neither thing.
Yeah.
But
What oddly funny enough, I wanted to learn sign language. It was as a skill first. It was a hobby. It started off as a hobby by picking up a deck of cards and wanting to learn something new. So, I mean, that's what got me into wanting to do that as part of my skills of what I try to do every day. But
And
yeah.
just more on like what you're saying, Luke. You know, you only have so many hours in the day. That's the way I look at it. You got, and it goes by fast. So you got to choose the things that you really want to do, and like, you know, if you want to do something well, you got to focus. You got to spend a lot of time doing that thing. So so that's why I keep it to like two things mainly, and then like one other thing from time to time. Because, like, if I'm trying to juggle 10 things,
Yeah.
I
you know,
can't do it either. It's not
you
like
know.
a criticism. It's not a criticism of what you're talking about at all. It's just I can't function that way, or at least not like that's not the best me when I'm doing that. Like when I'm doing 10 things, everybody can tell that I'm off at like every single thing I'm doing. Like when I do 2 or 3 things, I'm fucking on and like I'm nailing what I need to nail. I
Well,
don't-
it's definitely rewarding learning it. I get to learn the cultural with, you know, the deaf community. I learn the cultural and like the signing, and it's a beautiful language for sure. Even with like performance interpreters, when they're out there in concerts, they're literally they're diving in those lyrics, painting a picture behind those lyrics and telling that story. And it's a really beautiful experience. It really is. But this, I guess, is one of my hobbies and my passions I love to do. Not like, I guess, performance interpreting, but learning sign language and working with kids is one of my goals. I like to work in like a school setting, which is one of my goals after I graduate, is to hopefully get to that. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, for me, I work my normal 9 to 5, from Monday through Friday. Sometimes on the weekends, I'm a pharmacy technician. That's what I do, like during the week for my full-time job. And then honestly, I kind of do a lot of different things. I've kind of been struggling with finding like what are the things I really love to do lately, but the big things that kind of occupy my time, my free time right now, is I really enjoy painting a lot. I've been doing a lot more of that lately. I kind of stopped doing that for a long time and recently picked it back up. And then play a lot of video games, not like a ton, but I really enjoy playing video games with my friends. And then me and Luke have been playing some games like on the Xbox together. And otherwise, like I really want to, I want to be a reader, but I just struggle so hard to just sit down and read a book. I won't say I have ADHD, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone told me I did. I have a really hard time concentrating on things where I'm not or I'm not doing something with my hands, like just sitting and reading a book or just sitting and watching something that isn't fully engaging me. I struggle with that. I really want to. I was doing acting for a really long time, but I stopped that about like 3 or 4 years ago. And I'm trying to, look into options of getting back into that, but no such luck at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of what I do with my free time, is just kind of video games, hanging out with friends, art stuff, and then being a stepmom and getting chased around by a little kid. So
yeah, I
but
wish.
otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much what I do right now.
I wish I could paint. Yeah, and then like have like more options and artistic expression. I've tried. I do have fun writing sometimes. We have to write for the band, obviously, but like between the playing instruments, painting, all of those things, I struggle. It's just not something. I definitely can't, like, if I'm going to do it, I have to sit down and work hard at it to the point where I don't enjoy it anymore. It's definitely not a thing that I could do as a hobby. But yeah, like, I agree. Playing video games. I love reading, actually, especially horror, which is ironic, which is, like, from what we're talking about earlier, that's the main stuff I read, whether it's, like, psychological or Lovecraftian. But yeah.
But that video game, wasn't that your friend was playing? I know she makes she goes like podcasts of her doing live streaming. Thank you. She streams playing video games. What is that game that she just posted about, like, where you can be either a serial killer, vampire, detective,
Oh, I
like
don't know.
police officer, like it
think
sounded
was
very
like
interesting.
I think it was like an indie game that some like developer asked her to play. I
Yeah,
have
like
no
you could
idea
pick
what it's
either
called.
being like in voodoo or in cannibalism.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's wild.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was like a game like an indie developer asked her to test, which is pretty cool for her. But
That's really cool.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I know what you mean. I would also like to draw or be able to paint and stuff like that. I think I could be a really good writer. Like I took a couple creative writing classes in college, and I was like, I wrote like 14 pages of a story, and I was really getting into it. I was like, man, I was sitting there, I was like, man, I feel like I'm killing this. And then, but I guess, like, it just boils down to, it's one of those things that you have to do over and over and fail at, and, like, do something really bad, but you still, like, enjoy it enough to keep coming back to it. And music was always that for me. I wrote a song the other day, and I was listening to it, and I was like, this thing sucks. But you know what? I was like, but I love doing this, so, like, you win some and you lose some. But, like, I'm going to keep coming back to it because I just like doing it.
Yeah, I don't even think I said how I met AJ. I know I met him in August, and it was at the Madison Live. And he was in an original other band, Vile Sanctum. But I remember coming to that show first time, the energy. And I'm not going to lie, at first I did not want to go out. My friend literally convinced me, hey, girl, you need to go out. Like, let's just go have fun. Let's try it out. Go to a concert. I'm like, I literally flipped a quarter, heads or tails, if I wanted to go. And I did it. And it was like, I picked tails because normally every time when I flip a quarter, it lands on heads. Me, like, with that bet. So I bet, like, if I decide to go, it'll land on tails. If I don't go, it lands on heads. So I was already trying to set myself up not to go, and lo and behold, it lands on tails. I'm like, what the fuck? So I go, and, like, I had a really good time, and that's how, like, I met AJ here. Him and his brother were kind of coming up to me and wanted to say hi, and, like, I see these tall, these, like, tall, wide, gritting, smiling dudes. Like, I don't know, like, they were very, like, had that kind of gravitational pull of being very friendly and sweet, and, yeah. After that, started dating, like a month later. Yeah, and that was September. It's our anniversary when we started, like, being together, but it's gonna be 3 years. Yeah, wow.
I think our dates are very close, right?
Yeah.
I
don't want to say R.
Ours is incidental, but unfortunate. Not because of anything with the relationship, just because, like, something very important happened that day that would, like, meant a lot to both of us, which I honestly don't want to disclose.
That made you bite the bullet to finally say, like, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
She's my girlfriend.
Pretty much, and like, it's just, but it was, like, very positive stuff, but and it just happened to be 9/11. And so our anniversary is 9/11.
That's great.
Oh, man.
So it's pretty.
Not under the circumstances of the event.
So it's pretty easy to remember because we never forget,
But
yeah, that's. Yeah, but I did have another question. If you guys are cool with that. So this is kind of random. But I was thinking about it. In terms of, like, are you more of, or, like, because I feel like most people are one or the other. Are you more of, like, a night person? You feel like you get stuff done at night, go out at night, do those things, or a day person? That doesn't mean you don't go out at night, but, like, when are you most productive? When are you most, like, awake?
I'm definitely a night person. I think Laura can attest to that.
Yeah, definitely.
I keep a regular schedule because of, like, work and stuff, but if I was left to my own devices, I would probably stay up till
2-8, like,
till
past
6
12
a.m.
to 6 a.m. Wow.
And I'd probably be semi-nocturnal.
That's Luke.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely a night person.
I'm the complete. Well, I guess I'd say I'm the complete opposite. There have been times where I could stay up super late. Maybe the past late time I've stayed up was like 3 a.m. Watching horror movies or like trying to paint or reading a book. But I mean, or going out. Mostly, if I'm going out and I'm being active, productive, and I'm just, I mean, that's like going out in the town. But
Do you feel most productive
I feel
at
like
night?
I'm more productive right now. I feel like during the daytime.
During the daytime, yeah.
Yeah. And I enjoy when I get to sleep. So, like, when it's
Same.
time for bedtime, I'm out. I know I pass out before AJ, for sure, when we go to sleep.
Almost always.
Almost always, pretty much. So
Yeah.
he's more the night owl. I like to get stuff done during the daytime, and I pretty much fall asleep probably like around 11 is the latest that I go to sleep is like 11:30.
I mean, I respect it. I can't do it, but I respect it. Like, it's not even close for me. It's been this way since like my entire life that I can remember. I've been a night person. Like, I'm outside of days that, like, let's say I've got an important, like, whether I've got my daughter or I've got an important thing with music or I've got, like, whatever, I can make, I'm able to make it work. But in any time that it's, like, up to me, I am non-functional until like 2 p.m. and then I'm going to get a lot done that night. Like, on my free days that I get to do whatever I want, that's how it goes. I know that's not how, like, that's not how that's not the most productive hours in the 9 to 5 workforce and stuff like that, but it's just always how it's been. Even when I was going to school, it would be like I would like go home from school, pass out because I was tired, like from waking up so early, and then do my homework and practice basketball and do all that like late at night, and then get a couple hours of sleep and get on the bus the next morning. It's just like I'm just like a night owl.
So I'm just a permanently exhausted pigeon. I just function at exhausted all the time. No, but it's changed. Like, when I was a kid, I was definitely more of a night person, especially like when I was younger. Like, I was also very manic when I was younger. Like, I would sometimes go, like when I was in high school, it was like similar-ish to you, where it's like I would go to school, come home, or like because I did theater in high school, I would do the play stuff, and I would be up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, and then I would crash for like 2 or 3 hours, and then I would just go again and again and again and again, and I was just constantly running on such little sleep, and that was just how I functioned. That was just what was normal. So I like, was it healthy? No, but that was just at the time how I was functioning. And now that I'm older and that I'm an adult, I would definitely say I'm more of like a day afternoon person.
I would agree with that. I was gonna say, you see, like, I feel like you're a day person.
Like, I'm not a morning person. I don't like to be up early, but I get a lot more done when it's like, if I'm up by like 8 or 9, like, I'm gonna get a lot of shit done that day. It's not even that I can't stay up late. It's just like it really all boils down to, when do I have to wake up?
Real quick, I will say, like, you would think as a night owl, like, the worst thing for me would be mornings, right? But it's really not even mornings for me. Like I enjoy everything from like evening all the way around to like beginning of afternoon, and just every like that midday, no matter what. It doesn't matter if I sleep, like if I go to bed at like 9 or 10 o'clock, when it hits that midday, like 2 to 4, I'm just like, oh my God, I don't feel like it's, I don't know. Again, it's like, maybe it's just what your spiritual inclination is. I have no idea.
I don't know. I would say, though, I'm definitely now at like 27, I'm definitely more of a day person, but I do enjoy like nighttime stuff too. But yeah, I'm usually in bed by like midnight, 1 o'clock at the latest.
I actually it's funny you say that, Luke, because that is the period of time I feel probably the least productive, like in my life is that midday
Oh yeah.
portion. What?
fairly normal, like the midday slump is
Ye- Yeah. But like I remember I worked a third shift job, and I loved that schedule. I loved, like, I would wake up at like 3 or 4 p.m.
I don't know about you. I'd hate that.
I
Abe.
loved it.
You love that?
Yeah,
Well, I guess you're the night owl. Here you're talking about someone that wants
I
to
am-
sleep.
I am
so
the
of course I'm gonna be a
No, I like I literally could live nocturnally because like I would come home, I would get back from work, I would get in bed, I would put on like a movie or something.
Yeah.
It would be like the dawn would start to be like cracking
Mm-hmm.
out the window. You know, it'd be like the first rays of the early morn would be like coming through the lampshade, the nightshades.
Maybe
And-
smelling some bacon,
or
some eggs.
so, maybe that first breath, and I'd be passing out, and it felt great. I was like, it just felt like the right time to go to sleep. So
I'm
I
talking
guess
about like a morning breakfast.
I know you are.
See, no, he didn't get that because he was too busy fucking sleeping.
That's right. And you know what?
Same with Luke. Like, I'll make shit in the morning, and it'll be like, it's funny because on days that, like, we don't have his daughter, it'll be like we're kind of, like, passing, not all the time, because you do, like, come back to bed with me, like, a good amount of time. But, like, on the nights that you're staying up, it's like we're kind of just, like, passing, like, ships in the night. It's like, oh, hey, bye, love you. Like, it's like he's coming back to bed as I'm getting up, and I'm just like, okay, I got to go work, love you. He's like, all right, I'm going to bed, good night. Like,
Yeah.
and then I get home from work, and I'm waking him up. Like,
I can't. It's just my internal clock, and that's like, I think
some people
born-
are just built
That's-
different. Because like
yeah.
my friend my friend Alexa, she was a night person. She, she, her whole life she told me she was very much a night person. When we worked at the haunted house together, she was like always like she was like, this is just like I'm not tired. This is naturally like my, this is when I'm up. And then when she got her nursing job, she was like, I only want to work nights. Like if they put me on days one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. And she just functioned better like that. She was perfect. She was much happier waking up, like you said, at like 2 or 3 p.m., getting some lunch, getting a coffee, getting ready for work, and clocking in at 7 p.m., getting off at 7 a.m., conking out, and going to bed. That was how she was the happiest. I think everybody's just kind of like, it's like a predisposition. It's just like how you are.
Yeah, for sure. I know I had one more question. Do you have any? All right. So, yeah, that sounds good to me. So, and if either of you have a question, I think that's fair too. But the only question I had was I wouldn't want to end the podcast without getting like your individual like favorite tracks from if we were gonna if Pale Twin was gonna do more tracks like blank, which track would that be?
I know mine.
I know Livy's. I actually don't know my own girlfriend's though. What's yours, Laura?
Man, I'm on the spotlight. I would have to say Iridescent.
Incandescent.
Oh my gosh, probably.
Hey, close enough. I know what you're talking about.
I am like, it's these blue moons, man. It's these blue moons right now. I like Mirror Mirror. Too.
I like Mirror Mirror too.
I really liked Mirror Mirror. Yeah. I'd say all your songs are. I like, but I will say Mirror Mirror was my first top.
Okay.
Like, and
I know what Livy's is, and I don't want to give it away.
course.
I want her to say it, but what it I think I
So it's actually like so this might surprise you a little bit. Not this first part. So my favorite track you guys have made is Vacant.
okay. That was
I
what
like
was gonna
Vacant
say.
a lot. But if I was going to pick like a track of like this is what you guys should keep doing, it would actually be Spiraling.
Okay.
I like the breakdowns of that because I feel like it's it's a good mix of cleans and screams, and I feel like that's like it's a good because like I like Mirror Mirror, but I also like the cleans a lot, and like I think Vacant has a lot more cleans than screams. Like, and I feel like that is like the perfect kind of like mix of both, and I think like utilizing both is a good thing because you guys are like good at both, and like I like the heavier instrumentals, and I feel like Spiraling has that.
So it's interesting you say that because I would say Spiraling and Vacant are two very similar songs in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That they're kind of slower tempo Pale Twin songs.
Yeah.
I really want to see how Dying Blue does. It's not my favorite song that we have. I think it's kind of mid. I think I said that.
I'll
But-
say you guys haven't put that one out yet.
We haven't, but it actually reminds me more of Thief of Mind than any other song that we
Yeah.
have.
I would say those two are the most similar.
Yep. And if that one does well, then I'm going to say, like, well, Thief of Mind did really well. Dying Blue's doing really well. So maybe there's something to that direction. But, well, we'll see. I think my personal favorite... I think my personal favorite is Cuts, which hasn't come out yet, but
I do
I-
like Cuts a lot too.
I couldn't see us doing. I think that's kind of more of a every once in a while kind of thing, as opposed to a solid direction. But yeah, in the future, maybe another Cuts or another song like Cuts would be cool.
Where would Intoxicated fall under? Because I always like when Luke would sing Intoxicated.
That's pretty low on both of
Conflicted.
our lists, I think.
I'm not trying to.
But
I
alright.
like that one too. I like that one.
Well, that song was actually a remake of an earlier song, which I still really like.
Oh,
But I
really?
just yeah,
Okay.
but I just think the remake didn't turn out as well as we were hoping. It's just, at least for us. But if I had to say, like, it's ironic because the one I was going to say was Thief of Mind.
Thief of
And,
Mind.
like, just earlier today we were talking about, I think it's the most unique. I think it sounds the most like itself out of all of our songs. And I think that's a big plus, you know, where like I think spiraling is really clean. It's executed really well, and I still like it a lot. I'm not going to disparage any of our music, but to me, it's a little more of a traditional structure. Where Thief of Mind, I think, does like combines things that you don't find in a lot of songs, and so does Dying Blue, and so like it. You know, if that becomes kind of a running theme, you know, kind of bands that make me like the kind of band that makes me think of a little bit is Rage Against the Machine, except with cleans and like more, I don't know, like with cleans and like I think more of a clean band sound as well, honestly. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, would you say that Thief of Mind and Dying Blue are the most are two of the more related songs of the 10?
Yeah, for sure. For sure, I think, and that's kind of what I was getting at. I think they both, like, they do like sound a lot of like. I hadn't really thought about it until tonight, but now that you say it, I definitely hear it, and they both kind of give me that like Rage Against the Machine feel, and I'm sure there are other bands that are where you're getting like a multifacet of different, like you're getting breakdowns, you're getting hooks, you're getting clean screams, rap, whatever.
Yeah, this is what I'd say. I'd say that they're both mid to high tempo songs that are high energy. And I think of the songs we've written, they're the most in that pocket, and they're also more. They also incorporate a lot of those digital kind of sounding elements in them as well. So if you're listening to this and you like Thief of Mind, Dying Blue's next, and it's coming out fairly soon. So check that out. But yeah, man, I'm. It's not it's not one of my favorites, but if it performs really well, I'd be really excited for that, and I'd be really excited to try to write more songs in that direction. I will tell you that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
I think we talked about this before, but this could be our chance to make it official, is that if Dying Blue does a lot better than you think it's going to do, I think we should like come up with like a ice bucket type viral punishment. So like if it way over exceeds what you're thinking.
Was he that much of a Dying Blue hater?
No, it was just him and I disagree. Not about the like amount of success it's going to have. I think just a little bit about the details.
All right. I'll go really crazy with this one, and I hope that it comes true, and I have to do this. But I'm gonna say it here first, right? If Dying Blue gets over 100,000 plays on Spotify, I'll tell you what. If it gets over 100,000 plays, we're not gonna do any paid promotion across all platforms. I will take a swig of Carolina Reaper hot sauce.
Okay.
Carolina Reaper hot sauce, y'all. If it gets over 100,000 plays, that's my whoring myself out for plays, but
He's
So-
gonna shit fire.
so you get punished. You get punished on both ends on
My
that.
poor baby.
So if you want to see me in a lot of pain, please listen to Dying Blue.
When it comes out.
Please listen to Dying Blue. It's all right. It's coming out. It'll be mid-March. So be looking for it around mid-March. I think we're about to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in again. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before we wrap up?
How dare you put me on this podcast? How fucking dare you? But no, thank you for having me and Livy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us. It was a good time. We'll have to do it again.
kind of nerve wracking, but you know.
No, I had
It
a
was
lot
fun.
of fun. We'll definitely do it again. But thanks again for tuning in to Twin Tuitions. Be looking out for our new track coming out next month, and then our first big show coming out, debuting month after that. All right, we'll catch you guys later.